and welcome to Quirky Books with Katie. Today I'm going to be doing part 2 of my summer book haul. If you want to see part 1, I will link it down below. These are books I've kind of accumulated in the past 2 months, and I officially have a book buying addiction, and it's a problem. So before we go dwell on that, let's get started. The first couple of books I'm going to talk about are ones I kind of accumulated here and there. First is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. It's kind of like a blank cover, but it says it on the spine right there. I actually got this while I was at a farmer's market with my mom, and they had this old vintage bookshop place, and of course I had to go in. I was actually looking for Jane Eyre, but I found this, and it's a really nice copy. I think it's limited edition or something or other. The next book I got is Spirit Bound by Richelle Mead. This is the 5th book in the Vampire Academy series. I've kind of been trying to accumulate all the books in the Vampire Academy series because I've already read it, but I liked it a lot, so I want to have all the books. Now I have books 1, 4, and 5. I actually got this at my church festival. I was really bored and I didn't want to deal with people, so I went into the used book sale, figuring how bad could it get. And I only got one book, but that was this one, and that is because I went 2 weeks earlier and already got a bunch more. Used book sales are the best. The book I got is The Golden Lily by Richelle Mead. This is the 2nd book in the Bloodline series, which is the Vampire Academy series spin-off. Now, I got this while I went to the mall with my friends, and of course, I was planning not to go in Barnes & Noble because I recently got 10 books from there or something weird, and I texted my friends, "Oh, where are you guys?" And they're like, "Oh, we're in the teen section of Barnes & Noble," and I'm just like, crap. Well, of course I had to buy something, and I bought that, and my friends were going to hold an intervention for me. They're like, "Katie, you have a book buying problem. You're obsessed." Not something I hear every day. The next bunch of books that I got are ones that I ordered in the mail from Barnes & Noble. Some are favorites that I don't own because I read at the library and I needed to own because I just have this glorious bookshelf, and it's not like I don't have enough books to fill it. And a couple of the other ones in there, too, are ones that I've heard a lot about. The first 2 books kind of go together. If I Stay and Where She Went by Gayle Forman. These are companion novels. I loved this duology, I guess you could say. It was just amazing. And If I Stay is being turned into a movie. Really excited about that. I love the actress that they picked to play Mia also, Chloe Grace Moretz. But this is about a girl named Mia who gets into a car accident, and it kind of is her reflecting over her life and deciding, does she want to die or does she want to stay? And her boyfriend Adam plays a huge part in it. And book 2 is kind of Mia's relationship with Adam. I love Adam so much, and Where She Went, I cried. And If I Stay is really special to me because it's the first book that actually made me cry. When I was younger, I used to never cry at anything. How that's changed, but yeah, that If I Stay is a really special book to me. Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. I decided to get this book because I've been accumulating all the Sarah Dessen books as well because I've read all of them and I love her. She's one of my favorite authors, and this is one of my favorite ones by her, and I didn't have it yet. And I'm just mad because they changed the covers. I like the original covers a lot better. Here's an example of the original cover, and here is the new cover. I know they're not that much different, but the old ones have the matte covers. New ones are shiny, and now they don't match. That's a different rant, but Just Listen is about a girl named Annabelle who's kind of going through her own problems. Her sister is anorexic, and she meets this guy named Owen who really likes music, and he kind of convinces her to kind of take a step back from life and just listen to what's going on. One of my favorites by Sarah Dessen. If you haven't read it, check it out. Next is Divergent by Veronica Roth. Everyone knows what this book is. I swear, the movie's coming out in March 21st. So excited about that. And I have read this before, as obvious, but I had Insurgent, and I didn't own Divergent, and I thought that was a huge problem, especially because I'm going to want to reread this before the movie comes out, and before Legion comes out, which is October 22nd. Also stoked for that, but for those of you who live under a rock, don't know that is what this is, sorry if that's offensive, but it's kind of true. It's about a girl named Triss, and she lives in this society where it's divided into 5 factions based on what they think is wrong with the world, and Triss is stuck in one faction. She kind of has to decide what happens or what she wants to do with her life. I always don't like the description of this book because it kind of just focuses on, oh, is she going to change factions or not? And that's not really what this book is about. But it is amazing. One of my all-time favorite dystopians. Love it. Definitely go read this before the movie comes out because I think this is going to be the next big thing. Next is another one of my favorites that I actually just read recently. I read this a month ago, I think, only. But it is The Day Before by Lisa Schroeder. One of my all-time favorites. I bawled multiple times while reading this. Or I tried to, but I think I was in school and people thought I was crazy for crying. Oh, well, that happens all the time. What do you guys do when you accidentally start bawling in school over a book? I know some people that brought, like, The Fault in Our Stars or Mockingjay to school and read it, and I'm just like, oh, what are you guys doing? But this is told entirely in verse, which is something really different for me because I usually don't like poetry at all. The book is it's really short, but it's about this girl, and she has this really big event happening, and the day before this happens, haha, get the title, she runs off and does everything she's ever wanted to do in this one day by the beach, and she meets a guy there who's also kind of trying to do the same thing. I absolutely adored this book. It was just gorgeous, and I loved it. And the next two books were part of my Barnes & Noble haul, but they're books that everyone told me about, so I kind of eventually gave in and got them. First is Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry. This is a contemporary book. I think a lot of people compare it to Perfect Chemistry, and they say it's one of their all-time favorite contemporaries. Second book, Dare You To, just came out, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. And it looks really good. I just don't like the kissing on the cover. Why do all the contemporaries have to have kissing on the cover? It's either kissing on the cover or like the Sarah Dessen covers and has like weird crap on it. And last but not least is the book that everyone has been talking about on BookTube in the last month. And I mean everybody. Literally all of my favorite booktubers have read this book, or it's on their to read or something, and people have been bugging me to read it constantly, and that is The Fifth Wave by Yancey. This doesn't sound like something I didn't pick up by myself, but so many people have loved it. It's kind of, I think it's like a zombie-ish, like apocalypse book. I don't know that much about it, but it sounds really interesting, and it's huge. Like, look at how huge this is. So I will probably try to get through this next month, hopefully-ish, maybe, I don't know. But those are all the books that I got in my summer book haul. As mentioned before, I'll link my first part of that down below. If you've heard anything about these books, good or bad, comment down below, let me know. And also, if you want to see reviews from any of these, let me know. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you again soon.